Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Foreign Correspondents Club of Japan. My name is Khaldoun Nazari. I'm a member of this club. And I have the pleasure and honor to moderate this very lovely event where we have very beautiful guests and very artistic. And let me first introduce to you from who is at the head table. From the far right, Mr. Amit. From my right, Mr. Amit Kumar. He's a deputy chief of mission at the Embassy of India in Tokyo. And to his right, Mr. Narendra Kumar. He's a fashion designer, very well-known fashion designer in India. And he's in love with Japan for a long time. So we are lucky to have such guests. And then right next to him, the legendary Evelyn Sharma, one of the most beautiful and great actress. And she's now a Bollywood star, and she's maybe planning to have some production in Japan in the near future, hopefully. And to her right is Miss Chika Nakagawa. She's Miss World Japan 2015. Another beauty also on this stage. And then to the far right, Mr. Kenichi Takano. He is Japan National Tourism Organization, JNTO, who are promoting this event, and they invited the guest. Japan is planning to have a lot of tourists in the near future, and this their visit is part of Japan's effort for this goal. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we will have our guests speaking. Actually, we'll have only 4 guests, or will be giving a short speech, starting from Mr. Kumar, Narendra Kumar, and then each one will speak for about 5 minutes, and then it will be followed by questions and answer. And after that, I think we have time, maybe if there's a chance. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our guest, and let's start the event. Thank you.
Right. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Adari, and thank you all for coming. It's absolutely pleasure to be able to speak to all of you in Tokyo, one of my favorite cities in the world. I'll quickly give you a little background about myself. I have been in the fashion business for the last 25 years in India. I have done everything in the fashion business. I've been the first fashion editor in India for the first fashion magazine. I've taught in fashion schools. I've consulted lots of brands. And I also have my own label. My label was listed as amongst one of the 50 best menswear labels in the world by Esquire magazine in 2013. And I have probably I also now work as a consultant to Amazon in India. I've helped them set up Amazon Fashion in India as their creative director. So there's lots of things that I've done in the fashion business, but let me come to my design background. Japan has always inspired me from the time of when I started my design career, from the time of Issey Miyake, from the time of Comme des Garçons, and quite a lot of that have been part of my learning curve in fashion, for the textile, for the inspiration, and I've always looked at Japan for a lot of my inspiration. But it was only fortuitous that I met Harry Kusato in Bombay 8 years ago, and I met in him a person who loved India, and he met in me someone who loved Japan, and we've been friends since then. We started doing a lot of projects together. Together we created the idea of how to get people in India to understand Japanese culture, integrate Japanese culture into a young Indian, because a lot of Indians drive Japanese cars. Even I drive a Japanese car, but not many people associate it with an association of culture. It is a great car, and that's how people see it. But we thought of doing something which would bring in the culture of India and Japan together. and part of which was creating this Cool Japan story in India. Which happens every February of the year, where he brings in Japanese artists and manga artists and everything, and businesses to integrate with a youthful younger generation, so that you could grow culturally with the next generation. And it is my absolute pleasure to have been here. Thanks to Harry over the last 3 times. This is my 3rd visit. And every time I talk about coming to Japan, I'm salivating from the sides. Sashimi and sushi is my #1 food. Even in India, wherever I go, is the first. Even if I go to New York or in London, that's the first food that I want to eat. I could eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 365 days.
We are.
And there are, like me, there are a lot of people in India who love that food too. And I'm here. This is my 2nd time. We've done a calendar before where we shot with another Bollywood actress before this, and Evelyn is here this time to bring the idea to capture the beauty of Japan with tradition of India, but in a modern sense. I think everybody is looking at India today as a modern country. We talk about startup India, we talk about entrepreneurs in India, and we wanted to bring that language of fashion together with the culture and the beauty of Japan. Thank you very much.
Good evening. First of all, thank you all for coming here. My name is Evelyn Sharma, and how it's already been announced, I'm an actress in Bollywood in India. And just a little bit about myself. I grew up in Germany. I'm half German, and I'm half Indian, of course. And I was always fascinated, I would say, by the Japanese culture. And I'm extremely excited to be here today and to celebrate the friendship between India and Japan, and for our wonderful friends to invite us here and give us such an amazing time. I'm extremely excited to see all the different places in Japan. We will travel to different cities, and to see the cherry blossom in all the different parts of Japan. It's always been one of my biggest dreams to come here, and finally this dream has come true thanks to my career, that now I'm shooting my 10th movie, and I've become a star enough to be invited to these wonderful associations. I'm extremely excited to shoot this calendar, which we are shooting with Narendra Kumar, and the beautiful Miss World in Japan, of course. And yeah, I love the Japanese food as well. Just to mention that. But yeah, I'm extremely excited to be here. It's a dream come true, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful time. And I hope to get to meet all of you again one day. Thank you.
じゃあ、どうぞ。
2015年ミスワールド日本代表の中川千佳と申します。通訳入りますか？
I'm Miss World Japan 2015 Chika Nakagawa.
はい、実は先日2月に私もクールジャパンのイベントでインドに行きまして、その時に初めて日本のカレンダーを作りたいというお話を聞きまして、まさかこんな早くにまた皆さんにお会いできると思っていなかったので、今日すごく嬉しいです。
In February earlier this year, I went to the Cool Japan Festival in Mumbai to represent Japan and be part of the festival. And at that time, there was talk about doing a calendar, Japan calendar. And I'm very so surprised that we're all sitting here today and we're actually going to be making this calendar together. So it's quite of a surprise.
これから1週間皆さんと一緒に楽しみたいと思います。
And I'm looking forward to going around Japan with everybody in the next week or so.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. I'm very pleased to be present here at this event along with Mr. Narendra Kumar, one of the leading fashion designers from India, and two very talented ladies here on the podium. Let me say a few words about myself. I am Amit Kumar. I am Deputy Chief of Mission at the Indian Embassy My association from Japan started in 1999. I am a career diplomat. I first visited Japan in 2001. I fell in love with this country. I visited it 4 times before I took a more permanent assignment in August 2014. And I think it's reasonable to say that all of us here are probably united for our love for Japanese food. So much so that when my previous assignment was in New York and before I knew that I was coming to Japan, I always wanted my children to take interest in Japanese food. I introduced them to Japanese food in New York. And when we moved here in August 2014, in a certain unusual way, it was the Japanese food which was one of the factors that helped my children settle down in this new city very quickly. Mm. They went to a sushi place for the first 9 consecutive weekends. Next. But yeah, more about my work. As I said, as part of the embassy, our job is to build bridges of friendship. Japan is a key strategic partner for us. We enjoy a special strategic and global partnership. Our civilizational ties with Japan date back to 753, which was the first recorded contact between our 2 countries. The Todaiji temple in Nara was the eye-opening ceremony of the Daibutsu was done by an Indian priest, Bodhisena. Our 2 prime ministers, 2 dynamic leaders are proactively engaged in promoting our relationship. And one key plank of our growing interaction is people-to-people contacts. And what better way to promote mutual understanding through tourism, other than tourism flow. So both our governments are actively looking to promote tourism, both ways, Indians to Japan, from Japan to India. And we have a tourist office and we are working on several measures. We have liberalized a visa regime for Japanese nationals. Japanese people today can obtain visa on arrival and twice a year. If you want to visit India more often, then you have to approach the embassy for visa. But it's very easy to get a visa. It normally takes 2 to 3 days through a visa outsourcing service. India and Japan have much in common apart from as modern democracy, rule of law. But when you speak of culturally, our links of Buddhism are well known. Yoga is another common heritage. Yoga came from India but has been adapted in different forms in Japan. And I had the pleasure of meeting Nakagawa-san previously, and she told me that she is trying to learn some yoga postures. Thank you. We do hope, as you know, that we now have an International Day of Yoga, June 20, on which we mark on June 21. And we hope to see her there and the organization participate in our function. I think one big thing that India needs to learn from Japan is this tremendous ability to preserve culture and how it coexists with modern technology and innovation. I think we can take a leaf out because we have many ancient heritage monuments and other things that we need to preserve, but we also need to develop ourselves as a more modern country. And of course, we have to find our own way forward. But Japan has been a partner and we look forward to that continuing cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentations. We'd like to open the floor for your questions. And if you have any question, please raise your hand and proceed to the mic here in front. And who would like to take the first question, please? Yes? Yes?
You can ask, yeah.
No, we have to. It's a system here, sorry. Because it's on the record. Please state your name and affiliation first.
Good evening, everyone. I am Supriya. I'm working for a news agency in Japan called Kyoto News. I'm from India. So my question is to, I have a question from all of you. Can I just ask?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah? One? Okay. One?
Just ask.
Feel free.
Okay.
Just like
Okay, thanks. Okay, so I would like to ask Mr. Narendra Kumar, sir. You have said that you are designing clothes. The title is inspired by Japan. Can you throw some light upon it? Like,
a lot of Japanese culture. Then this time especially, origami was an important part of making clothes. If you see a lot of the collection this time is also inspired by origami, pleating in different ways, but pleating for like evening wear kind of stuff. We also have, sakura prints on some of the clothes that we have, but we have blended that with an Indian feel. She was just wearing that earlier this evening. A lot of the clothes are contemporary Indian, but you could wear it anywhere in the world. I mean, we designed for, you see a lot of traditional clothes in India, but I would like to speak to a modern Indian who wants to travel the globe and is rich and is, like Mr. Kumar said, happy to wear his culture or her culture anywhere in the world.
right. So you mean you have designed the clothes that the two ladies will be wearing during this one upcoming week?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Including this.
Yes.
Awesome. Great. And then next question.
And you ask all the questions and they will answer.
All right. Okay. JNTO の単なんですけど、すみません。この多分このイベントの主催者でよろしいですか？
ないですね。
あ、でもね。はい。どうやってこのイベントをインドからのお客さんを日本に来てもらうっていうそのつながりがどうなってくるんですか？でそれで何年までに何人ぐらいのインドの客を日本に来てもらう、そういうターゲットとかあったりします？そういう目標ですね。
はい、私どもとしては多くのインド人の方に日本に来ていただきたいと思っておりまして、今回こういうような形で出席をさせていただきました。先日安倍首相が2020年に4000万人の外国人の方にお越しいただきたいというふうに発表しておりました通り、これから私どもとしては多くの外国人の方に来ていただくように、いろんな準備を進めていきたいと思っております。
ありがとうございます。
Yes. Could you translate?
Yes. Free translation. So he's saying that I'd like to have as many foreigners come to Japan, and as Prime Minister Abe was saying that he's announced recently that there's a push to 40 million tourists to Japan 2020. So that's a sort of bigger picture goal that he has, I think, at JNTO.
I just wanted to add that, this year especially, there are I have, so many of my friends coming this year to Japan. Some of them are already there. Our friends are already here, and more coming in the next few weeks and months. And Japan has become a destination for younger travelers who want to explore a new world and who haven't traveled this side before. People have gone up to Bali and Philippines but never touched Japan before. The interest is absolutely amazing amongst the younger people. I put out on Facebook before I was leaving, that I was going to Japan, and I had about 160 people saying that I also want to come with you.
Yeah.
Very good. Next question, please. Yes, please.
Thank you. Trevor Dare, Miss Tourism World East Asia. Are you, Narendra Kumar?
Right.
Are you planning to visit other countries in East Asia to promote?
Oh yeah. Somebody call me anywhere. I would love to do that. But I do a lot in India. I have multiple things that I work, but there's that much time in the year that I get off. But anywhere in the world, I would love to go. And I'm an ambassador of the world.
Great. Next question. Yes.
最初は中川さんに
If you
お
can
伺いした
speak
い。
English,
In English, okay.
We don't have official translator.
Okay. For Miss Nakagawa, I know you are from Niigata and you're still 22 and on this international culture division in your university. So have you been to Indonesia before? And also the same question actually for you mentioned about Bali, right. Mr. Kumar, and also Miss Evelyn Sharma. Have you been to Bali also? And how do you think about Bali? Thank you.
中川さん22歳で新潟出身という聞いております、学生だっていうふうに言われてるんですけど、インドネシアにいらっしゃったことありますか？
まだないです。
Not yet. She's not been to Indonesia yet.
でもミスワールドのルームメイトがインドネシアだったので、ぜひ行って会いたいなと思ってます。
But at the Miss World pageant last year, her roommate was from Indonesia, so she wants to go and visit Indonesia.
And Bali, I've been to Bali. Indonesia is a great place. It's a nice place for a holiday. A lot of people in India go there, a lot actually. And the most frequently traveled beach destination is either Indonesia or Thailand amongst most of the Indians, I think.
How many times?
3 times.
My work makes me travel a lot, and I have gone from the Philippines to Malaysia to Thailand, Vietnam, but I have never gone to Indonesia, and I keep hearing how beautiful the beach is in Bali. So I think I will have to take a vacation at least and soon visit Bali.
All right. Next question. Yes, please.
Thank you very much for the occasion. My name is Akiko Suzuki from the Asahi Shimbun newspaper. May I ask Mr. Kumar and Evelyn-san, if you could share with us that well-known destination in Japan among the Indian people, the people in India, if you have any idea.
Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, for example, like Fujisan or hot springs or anywhere. Yeah.
So I think Japan for the Indian traveler is a new place. I don't think people know anything really beyond Tokyo, and Tokyo especially because it's multicultural feel. It's Harajuku, it's Omatsu. I mean, all the lifestyle, which is great, and the art, the design, all of that. But I've been lucky to go to Yakushima.
Yes.
Hokkaido. Kagoshima. Kyoto. Thanks to Hari-san. And I have discovered in the last calendar we shot across all these places, and it has been appreciated by a lot of people in the country. A lot of people see it, and I think that has led to a slow rise in interest for a lot of young Indians to travel to Japan.
Yeah, I heard that tomorrow we are going to the hot springs. So I'm extremely excited for that, sitting in a jacuzzi, seeing the snow and the cherry blossom at the same time. I cannot only imagine how beautiful.
We're going to Yamagata. Yeah, Yamagata.
Oh, Yamagata. Nice.
Yeah.
And I also want to see Mount Fuji.
Mount Fuji, yes.
Yes.
I think I've seen more of Japan than most Japanese people have.
And Takano-san, if I may ask you, なんかインドの方にこういうところがいいんじゃないかとプッシュできるような場所があったらぜひ教えてください。
はい、インドの方よく広島に行かれておりまして、原爆のことだとか戦争のことなど大変日本人に対する思いというのが強いなというふうに感じております。インド人の方にゴールデンルートと言われているのが、東京、大阪、そこに広島が入っているというのがインド人の方に非常に人気のあるコースでございます。ぜひ行っていただきたいなというふうに思います。
So a lot of Indians actually historically like to visit Hiroshima. That's for the peace and all of these other things. So there's a lot of keen interest in the sort of the golden route of Indians who travel incorporate Tokyo and Osaka and also Kyoto probably, and then so they add Hiroshima to the itinerary. Most Indians like to go to Hiroshima.
I have to add that also because I'm a big movie lover. I love the movie Memoirs of a Geisha, so I want to see all the places where it's been shot. And I think we can always discover new places for Indian movies to be shot too. I think it would make like a completely different picture to Bollywood movies to have certain parts shot in the beautiful background of Japan.
Could I step? Sorry. You all mentioned about the calendar. Could you please describe about calendar, Ms. Kumar and Ms. Nakagawa? Is that all the calendar shoot all in Japan, or both in Japan and India, or what? Please.
Yeah, actually, do you have the ball, Taka-san? You have the ball, Taka-san? No, you didn't bring the ball. Can you bring the ball?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just they're just bringing something, but maybe Nari-san, you can talk about the inspiration originally.
So the idea behind this was to bring Japan and India closer, as in a cultural meet. And today, when we talk about culture, earlier it used to be dance, and India used to send dance troops across the world to discover India. But today that culture has shifted to a younger generation, and for younger generation, fashion, art, all of that means a lot more than dance and traditional food and traditional forms of culture. So that's how we came across this idea to bring something together on a fashion platform, something that is recognized by both the younger generation, both in India as well as in Japan. And the stories were built around the places that we were going to go. Some of the clothes were inspired by the suru, the bird, the Japanese bird, and she's actually going to be wearing one of the gowns that is inspired, that has the birds on it. So whether it is not only the embellishment, but also the way it is cut and pleated, it's been both Japanese and Indian arts and crafts have been used in making the collection. But there is one symbol that ties in all of that, is the red dot. It is inspired in every picture. We have the red ball, which symbolizes the red dot in the flag of Japan, and we've used that as a starting point to create our ideas around the calendar.
I think it's even just thinking of the red dot. It's the red dot in the flag, and also the red dot of the bindi of the Indian woman.
So yeah, that's right. Actually, it's the red dot of the bindi as well as that, and it traverses two worlds and two countries. It goes from the past to the future, and that's how we're looking at bringing these two cultures together.
Sir, may I
in
just
a
add,
small way.
Yeah, may I just add something about the calendar? Is that calendars you cannot ignore. If it's hung on the wall or actually on your table. So we believe that having it for 1 year with 12 different images of Japan, with these two beautiful ladies, I think a lot of people in India will be able to see Japan, in a sense, through the eyes of an Indian fashion designer, and obviously with Bollywood actress, and also through the eyes of a Japanese beauty, Miss World Japan. So what we're trying to do is to have that calendar in the homes of Indians, so that they can enjoy Japan and enjoy it every day. So I think that's kind of a very unique thing, that we keep the calendar there.
Yeah. I must add that a lot of the inspiration behind this comes from Hari-san. He's worked really hard to bring this together, and I cannot find one more person who is more inspired and loves India anywhere.
And the idea is to complete this calendar in the month of April, and then print it and everything, get it ready by the month of June. And we'd like to get Mr. Kumar to help us present it to both the prime ministers on another occasion when they meet later on this year, perhaps. Yeah?
You want to comment?
Right. Thank you. I actually just wanted to pick up a theme from what Mr. Narendra Kumar was just saying. In recent years, I think we have moved from a more classical form of cultural interaction by way of dance troupes or music to a more diffused, soft version. So, of course, textiles is one important area, which he has mentioned. Bollywood is another. And in recent years, Indian movies have been premiered here, have been dubbed into Japanese and introduced. In fact, there were 18 titles which were introduced in Japan last year. Some have gotten critical acclaim, some were hugely popular, like The Three Idiots. English, and Lunchbox. These they gained the much critical acclaim and were hugely popular. The other thing is animation, and people don't know about this, but there's ongoing collaboration in animation industry, animation sector, including the Asahi TV's production on Ninja Hattori in India, which is celebrating 10 years. I think this year or last year, I'm not sure of the date. And the first animation rendering of our great epic Ramayana was actually a joint production between India and Japan in 1993. So that is a small curious historical footnote, I suppose. Thank you.
I may add that I think since I've been 10 years old, I've been the biggest fan of Sailor Moon. So that's just a side note.
My name is Khalil. In my language, Arabic, Khalil means friend. First thing, I would love to see you all in Bahrain. It's a beautiful island. This meeting brought a lot of beautiful memories for me. When I was a child, seeing the Indian movies, I remember Sangam with the beautiful music and dancing and drama. My question for Ms. Sharma, I see there's an association between Indian and American, Bollywood and Hollywood. There's a lot of things evolving. My question to you is, how you like to see the Indian movie evolve through this association with Hollywood? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. I would love to come to Bahrain. And for Indian movies, I think just like you said in Hollywood as well, in Hollywood, people cast according to characters, whether the character demands a foreigner or an American person. It's according to the movie, according to the script, to make the movie look authentic and look the best. And I think the same is happening in Bollywood. According to the movie, according to the script, you need different kind of characters. And for foreigners from all kinds of backgrounds, lots of opportunities open up. I'm now shooting for my 10th movie, so for sure there's a space for the half foreigner at least. And most of my characters I have played like the foreign Indian, the Indian who lives abroad. And I love that role. I'm very proud of that role because I have been living abroad all my life. I would consider myself being a world citizen rather than belonging to only one country. And being half Indian, half German, I've always traveled around the world, especially as an actress and a model before that. And I think in every kind of industry where your art form is required, your talent is required, people will always look out for the best talent, and rather than the looks or where they are from, people look for talent. And that doesn't matter, like if you're from Japan, if you're from Germany or from India, I think you have a great future in the film industry if you're talented and willing to learn new things again.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm Sunil Chakko. I've written op-eds for the Huffington Post and the Sunday Guardian. My question is to Mr. Takano. First of all, congratulations for this initiative. The regions of Japan are so much more beautiful than the big cities. So thank you for introducing the rest of Japan. On another matter, about 2 years ago when I was advising the governor of Wakayama and working closely with Mr. Vikas Swarup, at the time he was the Consul General of India, we did an MOU between Wakayama and the state of Maharashtra. And as part of that, government delegations from Maharashtra started to come. One of those was had a minister, a very nice man, but he couldn't even use the. He had real trouble at night. It was a very hot day. The air conditioner could not even, he couldn't do it. He was a very polite man. He didn't want to complain or, alert anybody. It's just an example of the fact that perhaps Japan has never really been ready for say, groups of people like who don't speak Japanese, frankly, outside the big cities particularly. And the question is, what might you be doing to make sure that, in fact, just as you promote Japan to the outside world, what you might encourage the regions to do to become ready to receive all these delegations? Thank you.
じゃあ日本語ですかね。日本語で失礼いたします。やはり英語が通じないというのは大変大きな問題だというのは分かっておりまして、今いろんな観光地の表示ですとか、例えば ATM のマークを世界の統一に合わせたりという努力をしております。そういったところで小さなことですけども、外国人の方にとって優しい表示というのを今心がけているところです。そうすることによってより外国人の方に日本にお越しいただけるのではないかなというふうに思っております。
Allow me to respond in Japanese, but the government has been trying to standardize symbols in terms of signage, shall we say. For example, ATM has one symbol mark which they're aligning with the international sort of what people recognize as ATM. So I think overall they're trying to facilitate the fact that more English signage is what they're trying to do, and so that most people will be able to more and more, I think, appreciate understanding simple things through English signage.
Yeah, it happened with me when I first came to Japan. In cold winter, the heater worked, so and in hot summer the cooler worked because I didn't know how to handle this. But now I think it's possible. Somebody will help you with that. Thank you. Yes. Next question. Yes, please, lady.
Hello, I'm Professor Pauline Reich from Waseda University School of Law. I'm a member of an Indian family in New Delhi. I've been a member since 1970. I've been to India 6 times, and I have 2 Indian nephews. The first one lived in my house for a year, learned Japanese, and now teaches Japanese in India at a university, at Amity University, and loves Japan. My younger one speaks no Japanese and suddenly announced recently he had to come and visit me during the holidays. He speaks no Japanese. So my first foreign country was Japan when, I was a bit younger. And I said to him, okay, buy a Japan rail pass and you're going to travel alone in Japan. And, I thought he would just panic. Well, he fell in love with Japan. I can't get rid of these boys. My younger one went to Kyoto during New Year's. He found a cheap hotel on booking.com, and there were other student-age kids. He's 28, and he just had a wonderful time. It turns out the owner of the hotel was an Indian. I got to meet that Indian. Anyway, but he went to Hiroshima, and he went to Kobe alone and had a ball and wants to come back again. He would like to work with Indian inbound tourism to Japan, and he had just a marvelous time here without any language. He was very worried before he left Tokyo. He said, could Watanabe-san across the street go with me? She's his older brother's adopted Japanese mother. I said, no, she can't. It's Oshogatsu. No, you're going alone. But now wants to visit again, wants to be involved with Japanese inbound tourism from India. India has a growing middle class, And Japan is the best country to travel in the world, and there's no place better. I've lived here for a long time, and I've traveled to over 50 countries, but this is the best place. If you're going to travel abroad from your country, this country is the best. The people are kind to visitors. I've had other visitors from the States who don't know Japanese, and they've gone to Kyoto and back and shown up on my doorstep, free bed and etc. So really a good country to visit. And I do hope that we can work, maybe some of the foreigners here can also work with JNTO to improve things. For one example is Japan I Can website could be improved somewhat, and maybe we can work together on that. Okay, so just a comment.
Thank you very much for your insights.
Thank you.
Yes, now still have more time for questions. We have 15 minutes, and I'm sure you have a lot of ideas to discuss. And while you're thinking, I would like to place a question. I visited India last year, and I was very much impressed. I visited only one city, but frankly, I had a little bit trouble in the airlines. I flew through another country. I don't want to mention the name, because I might be sued now. But I had really long time waiting, delay, and there's very limited direct flights. So I think if you want really to promote tourism, the first step you do is to provide good connections on flights, like direct connections. That's number one, basically. So do you have any plans on this issue? And also for Miss Japan 2015, what is your next goal after you become like Miss World? What usually the young ladies want to do or want to achieve? Because you achieved the beauty, now what's next for young women, basically?
Yes.
You
want to ask her first?
That's, I think my first question.
レベルになって、この美をこの象徴するミスワールドになったんですけど、今後どういうことをやられたいのかっていうのを聞きたい。
個人的なのでいいですか？個人的には先日女優宣言という記者会見をさせていただきまして、今後はモデル業だけではなくて女優業に専念していきたいなと思っております。
So personally, she just actually made an announcement. Personally, she wants to go beyond modeling to a career as an actress in Japan.
All right, good luck. And I'm wondering if Mr. Kumar has comment on the flights.
Thank you. I agree. For tourism promotion, it will be better if we have more direct connectivity. But we do have around 20 direct flights every week between India and Japan. And I understand that some of the airlines have just upgraded their aircrafts also. So I think this is, of course, in response to increased inbound and outbound travel. As you pointed out, there are, of course, many connections through Singapore, through Thailand, through Hong Kong, connecting to much more cities in India. Direct flights are limited to Mumbai and Delhi. So I know that Air India is looking at plans to further increase their frequency. And in times to come, I am sure that there will be more direct flights. Thank you.
Thanks. And
I'd like to say that I think it's a great idea, to bring two cultures together through fashion. It's a universal language, and I've just recently launched my own charity foundation in India. It's called Seams for Dreams, and there we use the universal law for fashion to give back to humanity. And just an idea which I think would be great would be to involve more Japanese designers as well to come to India, and maybe we could work something out. And on another note, I think it's very recommendable, and I'm very honored to be shooting this calendar with such a beautiful and young, talented woman who's pursuing her dreams. And I hope you will succeed in all your dreams, and I wish you all the best for your acting career. And maybe one day we'll shoot a movie together if I ever get the chance to come to Japan again.
Thank you very much. And next question. Next question. All right.
So, both the ladies, are you, like, from Ms. Sharma, are you thinking of working in Japan, Japanese movies, or to Nakagawa-san also? Are you thinking of, trying your luck in India, Bollywood, or do you have something in your mind to do any such thing?
Supriya, right?
Yes.
Unfortunately, I do not speak Japanese as well as you, so I'm not sure. But I think there are so many crossover movies. So, like I told before, whenever the script demands maybe the kind of role which would open up to me, I would love to be a part of this film industry as well. I think it's beautiful. It's very. I think the Japanese culture comes through the movies as well, and it's very. I think similar as Bollywood, very clean movies, very humble movies, very family-oriented movies, love stories with music and dancing. I don't know how much dancing though, but I could bring that.
でもこうやってお会いできたのも何かの縁だと思うので、今後、今回だけじゃなくて今後またお会いできたらいいなと思ってます。
Yeah, the fact that we're here together must be perhaps destiny. So I'm sure that something may happen in the future, and I'm looking forward to seeing if we can exchange notes and get to know each other better. Perhaps.
I think for the Japanese Tourism Board, that would be a great opportunity to make a movie which is a crossover Japanese-Indian movie, which both the cultures would watch.
Yeah.
Just saying.
with lots of food.
Can I also ask what all places you are planning to visit in this upcoming week in Japan? Where all you are planning to shoot your?
Yeah, maybe I think I should just explain. So they've just arrived this morning.
Okay.
At 8 o'clock, I think we were at Narita. Then from there, we basically Tokyo today, tomorrow Yamagata, and we will go to see some very, very amazing scenery, both snow as well as cherry blossoms, and they will be staying in an onsen spa at Tendo, Yamagata. Then they will proceed to Aizu. And then spend another day in a very nice onsen place, and then come back to Tokyo, go for a big party in Roppongi, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And then on Tuesday they will proceed to Kyoto, spend some time with famous Maiko, as well as they will be staying in a machiya, a very old traditional Japanese house. And then they will be coming back to Tokyo on the Wednesday, and they will be going to Eric Clapton's concert. And then leaving the next morning back to Mumbai. And I hope they can really enjoy and drink lots of shochu and sushi. They've been telling me, it's like, Harry, where's the sushi? Where's the sushi? You know?
Yeah, the first place we went to straight from the airport was the sushi restaurant.
Yeah, that's where we're going. Yeah.
All right. So, but this calendar shoot has nothing to do with Cool Japan. It's like they're two different things.
The calendar shoot has nothing to do with the Cool Japan, but everything in Japan is cool anyway. So I mean, in that respect, it's related. Yeah.
Okay.
And I told you we're going to be seeing. I think I've seen more of Japan than most people in Japan have.
Yes.
By the end of this.
Great. And so, if nobody has a question, can I just go with
Go ahead.
Mr. Amit Singh, sir, what efforts you are thinking that India should take to bring more tourists to Japan from India? Because I don't see many Indian tourists in Japan. We don't have so many Indian tourists in Japan. So is there anything other than visa or the flight connectivity, as you have just mentioned, if you have some other thing in your mind, what you think can be worked upon?
Well, thank you for your question. As I said, we are looking at ways to promote tourism, and we of course the two governments are looking at flows which are from India to Japan as well as from Japan to India. Visa facilitation is one way to do it, and we have taken some steps. The government of Japan has taken some steps. In terms of our own efforts to attract Japanese tourists, we are working to improve the Buddhist tourism circuit, which is one favorite destination for a segment of the Japanese tourists that visit India. The Delhi, Agra, Jaipur Golden Route is another favorite destination for Japanese tourists, but we are also trying to introduce new tourism destinations to Japanese tourists. And we are of course open to working with government of Japan and in seeing how to increase flows from India to Japan. Thank you.
They should include a Bollywood tour also.
Yeah, well, Bollywood, as I said, Indian films have been gaining popularity in Japan. I'm aware of plans for release of a few Indian movies this year. And I think in coming days and months, I think this will emerge as a new focal point for increased people-to-people contacts. There is certainly greater understanding, and some Japanese producers are already talking of possibilities to collaborate with Indian producers on a joint film production. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Mr.
My question is, what sort of upbringing make a Bollywood actress, and what sort of upbringing make Miss World? Thank you.
That's a nice question.
どういう生い立ちだとどういうやつどうやってなれるんですか? You start with Evelyn, huh?
What kind of upbringing?
Yeah.
I would say there's no rule to the upbringing to make a Bollywood actress. Same as like starting your career in any kind of industry, it's all about hard work. And I think what my upbringing, my mom always taught me that you should believe in your dreams. And I think that's the main thing in my upbringing that brought me where I am today. My mom was always very supportive of my dreams. My mom always, even though I'm from a very lower middle class family in Germany, she always pushed me to believe anyway that I can achieve everything. And of course, when I grew up, flights were very expensive and just traveling around the world was nearly impossible. But I still believed, and everything fell into place. I traveled all around the world. I think by now I've been on every continent in almost every country, adding Japan to my list. And it's just amazing. I think if you believe, then everything is possible. And now I'm a Bollywood actress. Who would have thought that?
どうですか?
すごい難しい
It's a very difficult question.
でもやっぱり一番は私がミスワールドになりたいんだっていう強い気持ちですかね。
I think maybe the most important thing is I really wanted to become Miss World Japan. So perhaps.
はい。
It is not easy to become an actress in India. In Bollywood, you can get one chance, you can get two chances, but to sustain yourself over a period of time, very difficult. And it's a very tough life for a lot of people. I mean, we see the people and we celebrate the people we know, but there's a life beyond that that is really, really difficult. Sometimes stressful, sometimes psychologically also stressful for a lot of people. But in which business there is, every business has that kind of problem. If you like what you want to do, like what she said, there is no limit to where you can be.
Yeah. How about fashion designing?
No, fashion designing too also. I mean, I must say that when I started my career, I thought, I aimed to be the best in the world, knowing fully well that, a menswear tailor from India, being counted the best in the world with Savile Row and all of that around, I thought it was not achievable, but I let it around in my head. I woke up every day to make something beautiful, one thing that was nice every day. And I think that when it came to me, I mean, it was really when it was recognized and I got the recognition, I thought that, it is just work that you love every day. And it's not about just the end result that you look at. You'll surely get there.
Absolutely. Good advice, thanks. I think we heard a lot of very great, encouraging, interesting insights. We are at the end of our session, and I think we would like to wrap up this event, a lovely event. Thank you very much for coming today. We appreciate your visit, and we hope you have a very wonderful trip in Japan and successful, and we are looking forward to see you on the screen as soon as possible next time. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a big hand before you leave, and goodbye.
Thank you all for coming and giving us your time. Absolute pleasure to have spoken to you.
Have a nice evening.